Very exciting. Very, very exciting. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to get to a tradition unlike any other. And I'm not talking about the Masters. That's a win. That's a loss. Miami Heat edition. First half of the schedule is out, which means we get to play this again.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. Which is exciting. But Leroy's pumped.
Oh.
So we're going to do the first 18 games here, Leroy, of the first half of the schedule. Let's rock through this. Robbie, what do we got, man?
All right. Wednesday, December 23rd, opening at Orlando. It seems like every year they open at Orlando.
Of course. A little bit of a slight. I feel the Heat are disrespected in having to play this game against the Orlando
That's
Magic.
a win, that's a loss. You don't need side notes on why.
Oh, you do.
What are you doing?
So I'm going to go because of this slight. That's a win. I got the Heat on top. Leroy? That's a win. That's a loss. Magic, Heat. Heat in Orlando. Snitchy Mouse. Back where it all started. Okay, Robbie. Still mulling it, Robbie.
I have this as a loss. They lose this game under normal times. Now, 2 months after playing in the NBA Finals, it's a loss.
Wait. Robbie Raincloud sounds so much better.
No. I'm
playing the game.
I'm going to answer for Leroy.
Yes.
It's a win.
All right. We are back. All right, number 2, Robbie.
So so my representative will play for me. She's my spokeswoman.
Christmas at noon at home against the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh, I mean, first of all, a slap in the face that the Heat have the noon start against the Pels. All right. For some reason, also, the Pelicans, you guys are so fascinated with Zion Williamson and all these national TV games. By the way, he's not going to play in half of them because that's how it rolls. But I got the Heat as a win. They're way better than the Pelicans. The Pelicans are up and coming. The Heat are contenders as it is right now. And disrespect factor, that's a win for your Miami Heat. Leroy?
That's a win!
Yeah! I love it. Robbie?
I also got it as a win. The Pelicans, who you don't know if Zion's going to play. And even if Zion's going to play, I think the Heat, they'll kick their ass.
All right, number 3, Robbie.
All right, they start a 2-game home series back-to-back starting December 29th against the Milwaukee Bucks.
All right, listen, this is a very interesting game. I wish I had some factors like, did Giannis Antetokounmpo re-up with the Bucks? Are there distractions? Let's just say that he doesn't, okay? This means that Giannis, much like Victor Oladipo, will be flirting with his future teammates at this game. Plus, they already kick his ass as it is. So, game 1 of this series, I have the Heat with a win. Spirit, Leroy?
I think this could go either or, but if it's game 1 or game 2, I will put Miami winning one and the Bucks winning the other.
Okay. All right. Splitting the difference.
All right.
Robbie?
I got the Heat winning the first game. I think the Heat just owned the Bucks and they kicked the crap out of the Bucks in the playoffs, and they'll do it again the first game in December.
Now, this is where I go. This is why I wish I knew what the extension was, because if he hasn't signed his extension, then I got the Heat with a loss, just as a mercy loss. Show him a little mercy. Don't make him feel too bad about himself. False sense of security. Be like, yeah, those Heat guys, they're all right. You don't want them to think that you're jerks. So I'll go with an L there for the first one of the season. Second game of a back-to-back against the Milwaukee Bucks. Real Leroy? Do you have a thought there, Leroy? No? All right, number...
Oh, wait, and I got the second game. This is a trap game for the Milwaukee Bucks. You want to know why?
Why's
They're
that?
Gonna be. It's December 30th. They're going to be looking ahead to New Year's Eve on South Beach.
Oh.
So they're going to look past the Heat the second time. They're already having their party plans already mapped out. Heat win both games.
All right. Next game, Robbie.
We start the new year. New Year's Day. You too. The Heat are in Dallas to take on the Dallas Mavericks.
A blood feud against the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic, look, he's a great player. A fantastic, maybe one of the best players in the league right now already. But here's the problem. Daddy's home. And that daddy's name is Goran Dragic, okay? He can't beat Goran Dragic no matter how hard he tries, Leroy. You want to know why? Because he is the student and Goran Dragic is the teacher. He is Mr. Miyagi to his Daniel-san, all right? Except he's Gogi-san. And Gogi-san does not lose. He's the king of Slovenia and remains on top. Win for the Heat. Spirit Leroy?
Heat!
Woo! Oh, so much better. Leroy, I love this. 3 participants.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you have a Spirit Leroy.
I think the Heat are going to be fuming. They're going to spend New Year's Eve, instead of partying at South Beach, they're on a plane to Dallas and have to spend the New Year in Dallas. They're going to be fuming with anger, and they kick the crap out of the Mavericks.
Yeah. By the way, Leroy mouthed win to me also on Skype, just so everybody knows.
I wish I could see his face.
Yeah, I wish you guys could see it right now, but he actually mouthed win.
I'm sure he did.
Next game, Robbie?
Monday, January 4th, back at home, busting out the City Vice uniforms against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I didn't know that fact. That actually makes me a little bit nervous. I feel like whenever the new Vices are busted out, it's some trouble. But Oklahoma City is going to be one of the worst teams in the league. They're tanking on purpose. So I'm going to go easy win. Not much to spend on this one from me. Anybody else disagree? Any upsets here?
Win.
To win.
All right. Moving on.
2 days later, also.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real Leroy? Did you have?
Yeah, leave, of course.
Real Leroy?
Did he mouth something?
No, he just perked up a little bit. So I thought maybe upset. No? All right. Moving on. Moving on. 7th game.
All right, 2 days later, also at home at the American Airlines Arena, also wearing the Vice uniforms against the Boston Celtics.
Look, overrated Brad Stevens, as overrated as it gets. Now, here's the thing. This is going to be the first time Brad Stevens gets to walk into the American Airlines Arena knowing that all the hype is BS and he got his ass kicked by Eric Spoelstra. So it's going to be a different scenario in that case. But come on. Bam. He's the best player on that floor. What are you going to scare me with Tristan Thompson? Get the hell out of here.
Oh, he's on the Celtics?
Yep. Oh, you didn't know that? Tristan
didn't know.
Thompson's a Celtic. Yeah, Leroy, did you know that Tristan Thompson's a Celtic? That's a win, that's a loss. It's an actual question.
I do now.
All right, there we go. So I got the Heat as a win there. Spirit Leroy?
It could be difficult, but I'm gonna say Miami because.
All right.
I got it as a win also.
All right.
The message is sent.
Fantastic. Okay, next game, Robbie.
All right, a little bit of a sandwich game here. They are going to play. They're going to travel to Washington to take on the Wizards Saturday, January 9th.
Okay. Washington Wizards, we call this Plan B. All right, Bradley Beal's going to be there. Will he be miserable already at this point playing with Russell Westbrook? Should be fascinating to see in that regard. Going to DC, you could see it as a look-ahead game. It's the first night of a back-to-back front end. I think that he'd get the road trip off to a right start. I'm going to go that's a win for me in that game. Spirit Leroy?
You already know what I'm going to say.
All right, fantastic. Robbie?
I think this is a loss because they got the Boston Celtics again the following game. I think they're only going to be focused on the Celtics, and they're going to look past the Wizards on the road. It's going to be a loss.
All right, let's go to that game then at Boston. So you think, what do you think happens with that Boston game, Robbie?
All right, they play the next night in Boston, and I think coming off the loss to Washington, they're going to be the angry. I know they're historically not good on the second night of the back-to-back, but I say win.
I'm going to go loss because that's the only way Boston can beat the Heat.
That's right.
That's where they got all their wins against the Heat last year. It was always the second night of a back-to-back. It was always highfalutin, some kind of gimmick. So I say that the Heat will take their second L of the season in Boston that night. Real Leroy, thoughts on that? Spirit Leroy?
I agree.
You're going to go with a loss there?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the loss.
Okay, all right, fair enough. See, Leroy, we're very what's the word? Objective here. You know, we break this down.
Strategic,
It's not all wins.
Yeah, we're not
It's not all wins. It's
not 36-0 here,
I
guys.
think this is some kind of gimmick. Ridiculous. Next game, Robbie?
All right, they start a 2-game series at the Philadelphia 76ers starting January 12th, Tuesday night.
Okay, here's the thing about the Philadelphia 76ers. They can go straight to hell. You don't even need to tell me the next 2 games. I'm taking both of these games back-to-back. Sixers get taught a lesson. Big mistake not getting a Sixers game back-to-back. Heat of their daddies. Jimmy Butler's there. He's arriving in town. Joel Embiid's going, please take me. Bad guys. I know a place where bad guys are accepted. Remember that, Jimmy? And Jimmy's going to be like, nah, playa. Clock's over. Sorry. Enjoy Ben Simmons. and his bricks. The old third little pig. So I go back-to-back wins there for the Heat. Spirit Leroy?
I think Jimmy will come in with the rage and the win.
Fantastic.
Double win. I go losing the first game. Philadelphia, just like last year, the Sixers won the first game. They blew out the Heat. But then the Heat respond the second game and get revenge and kick their ass the second game.
All right, fantastic. Where do we go next, Robbie?
All right, and then the Heat return home Saturday, January 16th. They're starting a 2-game homestand against the Detroit Pistons.
I got to say, Leroy, if I could ask you a that's a win, that's a loss question. What do you think of the MLB style of all these back-to-back games against teams?
Sign of the times.
Sign of the times. Sign of the times. Spirit Leroy, do you like it?
I'm going to stay quiet on this one.
All right. So what do we got, Robbie? We're hosting Detroit.
Yep, 2 games.
Detroit's god-awful. They got Derrick Rose. He's saying that he's going to be the Jimmy Butler for the Pistons. Damage is done, my friend. I don't know what to tell you. Blake Griffin, Mr. 4-6. Who knows what he's got at this point this week? I go back-to-back wins for the Miami Heat. I don't even feel like spending time on this, to be honest with you. If you guys have any big disagreements on this, feel free to speak up now.
Well, the first game they play Saturday night, and then they have an off day in between before the second game. So the Detroit's going to have a full off day. It's South Beach, and then they're going to be hammered for the second game. 2 wins.
All right, Beach. Yeah, that's South Beach. The South Beach flu is something for real.
And now the teams are going to have to play 2-game series with extra time in South Beach.
All right, our last 4, Robbie,
here.
here.
This pandemic, though.
The last 4. All right, now the Heat start a 2-game road series against the Tampa Raptors.
I forgot about that. I completely forgot that they were in Tampa. I was thinking about this. It completely shakes me to my core. This makes me think of them more as the Orlando Magic. They lost a lot of size this year. They gave Fred VanVleet oodles of money. Their window is beyond closed. So I'm going to go win for that first game against the Raptors. Spirit Leroy?
That's a win.
That's a win. All right. Real Leroy? All right. Robbie?
If they allow fans in this arena, it'll turn into a Heat home game. 2 wins.
True. All right, 2 wins. I will agree with you, Robbie. I don't see any issues on the back-to-back there. And then finally, what do we got for our last 2 here?
Yes. They go on the road, start a 2-game road series at the Brooklyn Nets.
I'm always wary about teams going to New York. Brooklyn's kind of a sneaky place to hang out. Who knows what the life's going to be like at that point? It's a little bit in that vaccine land, so maybe the Heat are feeling a little bit willy-nilly. So I'm going to say that first Saturday game, I'm going to go loss against the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets will be feeling themselves. So I'll go L for that one on Miami. Leroy? Spirit Leroy?
I'll say the first win.
Okay.
And the second will be a loss.
All right. And
Yeah.
Robbie?
Yeah, I'm gonna go loss in the first game too. Yeah, Saturday night in New York, first game. First time seeing Durant and Kyrie, but then they'll make adjustments the second game and get the win.
All right. I actually have it the other way. I think they lose the first game, come back, win the second game, and that's how I close out the first half of this
That's
first
what
half.
Robbie just said.
No, he said he flipped it.
That's
No,
what
I said losing the first game.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm in agreement with you then, Robbie. I'm going to go I go with loss first, then a win. I got the Heat right now
You know
standing
what I realized? Hold
What's
on.
that? What's that?
I realize you include everybody else in this segment, but this is just yours. You want everybody to know what you think.
Do you have a record, Leroy? What do you
Because
have?
you just ignored the exact same thing that Robbie said.
Well, I was looking at strategy. I was looking at my record. What do you have as the record, Leroy? I have them at 13-3 right now. What do you have them at?
I got 14-4 through the first 18 games, and so does Spirit Leroy.
Wait, you have 18 games? Or was it only 17?
I thought we did. Well, I thought you did 18. Oh, it might only be 17. I'll do a count.
Wait, I have 4. Wait, hold on. I screwed it. Oh, wait, hold on a second.
4, 5, 6.
8, 9, 10, 11. I have 14-3. My bad.
Oh, yeah, it's 17. You're right. So then I have him. Then I have him at 13-4.
Yeah. Boom. There we go. That's a win. That's a loss. Okay. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to get to a tradition unlike any other.
yeah.
Part 2 of That's a Win, That's a Loss for the first half of the Heat's Rona season.
We just experienced this in a break. I asked Robbie if he saw The Kingsman Part 2. He said, I didn't see Part 1. I said, I understand exactly where you're coming from.
So you're going to participate this time, huh? You know, you've recalibrated.
Did you just hear what I said about Kingsman?
I'm just saying, you know. Well, no,
Didn't see Part 1.
So that means only one thing. Spirit Leroy is back.
I'm in the house.
Yes.
Good morning.
All right. Good morning, Spirit Leroy. Are you ready to get to That's a Win, That's a Loss?
I have never been more ready.
All right. Now, we
Let's
left off yesterday with at Brooklyn, January 25th. Where do we pick things up, Robbie?
All right, so just for the ride there, your record so far, I have him at the Heat at 13-4. Tobin, you have him at 14-3. And Spirit Leroy also has the Heat at 13-4. And then we go back home to the American Airlines Arena Wednesday, January 27th against the Denver Nuggets.
Man, all right, here's the thing. Jokic, whatever you want to pronounce his name, the Heat are going to kick his ass. You know, too, he's going to get lulled in by that sweet Gogi. Oh, come on, buddy. Come on, South Beach. You have good time. No, he seems prone to the South Beach flu. Won't be listening to protocols. Heat win. Robbie?
Oh, that's a massive Heat win. I remember that beating that they took in the bubble last year that the Heat gave Denver, the opening game of the bubble. Massive win for the Heat.
Whooped him. Leroy?
Oh, please. Just like my chicken nuggets at McDonald's, I'm the one that wins at the end.
All right. Next game, Robbie.
All right. The next day, back-to-back, but it's a home back-to-back. The following night, TNT only, by the way, at home against the L.A. Clippers.
Seems like a night where Charles Barkley's going to get sassy, say some things that upset me, going to give some disrespect to the Heat. Look, the Clippers, they beat the Heat in Miami last year, but the Heat were shorthanded. They had to have Dion Waiters try and save them that game. That ain't going to be the case this time, Jack. Heat win. Robbie?
I have this one as a loss. I remember the Heat. I remember last year I had to do a demonstration in the hallway after the Heat allowed so many three-pointers to the LA Clippers. I know they have Avery Bradley, but I still think the Clippers are going to get some threes off. I'll have that as a loss.
I think Landry Shamit's gone too. I remember him having
Oh
a big
my
game
God.
that night too. He was killing it. Leroy? Spirit Leroy?
You had a demonstration in the hallway?
Yeah.
And I
He
wasn't
did.
there?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's a loss.
Oh, all right. It's surprising. Okay, next game, Robbie.
All right, they are still at home 2 nights later, Saturday night against the Sacramento Kings, former West Coast Daddies.
Look, De'Aaron Fox is going to come into town. You're going to see his guy Bam. They're both rich now. You know, they were kind of rich. Now they're uber rich. You know, so I think Bam, he's going to try and, trick him with some kind of fancy dinner. Hey, let's go celebrate our maxes. Meanwhile, he's going to be, sending them drinks willy-nilly. We know Bam, he's going to be like an iron horse. He's going to be ready to go. De'Aaron Fox won't be. I'm going to go with a win over the Sacramento Kings. Robbie?
I have this as a loss. This may be one.
A loss
Yeah,
to the Kings?
Yeah, the Kings have gotten the Heat in the past. I think another game winner from the Fox. Loss.
Spirit Leroy?
Come on, Roberts. It's a win.
Real Leroy? All right. I'm just seeing if you wanted to change it up. Next up, Robbie.
Monday, 1st of February, 2 nights later at home against the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay, revenge game. The
pandemic
last game in the American Airlines Arena was a loss to the Hornets. That bad taste still in the Heat's mouth. You know, they remember how good they were at home, and they're not going to let the Charlotte Hornets waltz in there and disrespect them like that. And LaMelo Ball, who knows what he's got there? Maybe he's got diamond eyes at that point. You know, I can't trust it. I'm going to go with a win over the Charlotte Hornets. Robbie?
Oh, yeah, it's a win. They've been thinking of it. This game has been circled on the calendar since the pandemic began. Massive win for the Heat.
Spirit Leroy?
They're coming in with rage. It's a win.
All right, next game, Robbie.
All right, the Heat are going to start a 2-game home series starting Wednesday, February 3rd against the Washington Wizards.
All right, who knows where Bradley Beal's head's at this point? You know, does he want to be on the Heat? Is he going to be flirting with them like Victor Oladipo does? It's too tough. It's a tough call because it's you don't know. But they do have Russell Westbrook now. He plays really hard. I think it's a good effort. Bradley Beal impressed me last year, but I'm still going to get a win for the Heat in this game, starting off this second half of our first half with 5 straight wins for your Miami Heat. Robbie?
Oh yeah, it's a win. It's an easy win, and they'll win the second game too because there's a day off in between, and there's a power of South Beach kicks in. Yeah, 2 wins for the Heat.
Spirit Leroy?
I'll say they win the first game. The second game might be a little bit tricky. They'll probably lose that one.
Oh, all right. So throwing up a tricky loss. Robbie, what about you on that second game?
Second game's a win. The Wizards are going to be too hungover. All that time spent in South Beach.
I don't think they will be hungover. I actually have the Heat.
Pandemic going on, dude.
I agree with Spirit Leroy. I think that they lose this game. They'll get one. Maybe, impress Bradley Beal. Oh, maybe we could use you. Yeah? It's almost trade deadline time at that point.
Throw the center. All right.
I think that's a loss for the Heat, so I'll have them drop that one. Where do we go next, Robbie?
All right, Sunday, February 7th at 1 o'clock. I believe that's Super Bowl Sunday. They are in New York taking on the New York Knicks in the Garden.
Well, Super Bowl Sunday, it means the Heat's going to be focused on what that party is afterwards. Remember, that was a day that started the win streak back in the day for the Miami Heat. However, New York, I was weary about them going to New York. They like to party there. You don't know what the Rona rules are going to be at that point. We could be vaccinated up to the wazoo. So I'm going to go with a loss there for your Miami Heat to the New York Knicks.
Yeah, they're looking ahead to the Super Bowl party. Yeah, it's a 1 o'clock early game. After partying in New York the night before, it's a loss.
Spirit Leroy?
No, I'm going to say it's a win.
All right. Real Leroy? Zeus?
Oreo?
Next game, Robbie.
All right, then they return home 2 days later to play the same New York Knicks team, changing venue this time. Back at home.
This is a win. You don't lose 2 in a row to the New York Knicks. Impossible. All right, they're going to be feeling froggy, feeling themselves a little bit. Mike Breen, bang, all that nonsense. Nah, they come to the Heat's house. They're going to get their ass kicked. That's how it always rolls here in Heatland. So that's a win for your Miami Heat.
Yeah, they're going to respond after, they're going to play poorly the Sunday game in the Garden, and then they get the teeth marks all over their ass, Zonka would say, and then they'll bounce back and beat the Knicks.
Jeez.
Spirit Leroy?
Since Leroy responded, I'm going to say it's a win.
All right. Fair. I like those rules. If we can get any vocal reaction out of him, it's a win. Next game?
All right, this is the Heat are going to start a big road trip starting in Houston Thursday night, February 11th against the Rockets.
Yeah, this is almost a must-win for them because the Rockets seem like a disaster right now. This is a long trip they start. I think they know the urgency to start this thing off. You take it on John. It probably is going to be John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, and Spencer Dinwiddie at that point. So I'm going to go win for the Miami Heat.
Yeah, no James Harden. This could be a tank year for the Rockets. I'll go with a win.
All right. Spirit Leroy?
I agree with both of you. It's going to be a win.
Okay, next game.
All right, 2 nights later in Utah to take on the Jazz.
All right, you got the OG NBA Rona man, Rudy Gobert. Tough matchup. Always a tough matchup for Bam. You're going to Utah, tough place to play. Their fans, they're kind of like Western Conference Boston. I don't know what the Utah rules are on fans, to be quite frank. I haven't thought about Utah 1 second since the playoffs have ended, even though I did have them last year as the Heat's counterpart in the NBA Finals. I'm going to go with a loss for the Miami Heat there. What about you, Robbie?
Oh, yeah, loss. Weird place to play. Look, they're thinking about going to L.A. the following day. They just want to get out of Utah as fast as possible. They'll probably lose.
Spirit Leroy?
It's going to be a loss.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Next up.
All right, they 2 nights later, they are in L.A. to take on the Clippers.
Oh, man. You know what? The Clippers have no guts. I just don't, they go in there, they carry themselves like, oh, their bleep don't stink. So I think that he get a win there. Even with the whole things of having to enjoy L.A., they're super shut down over there. So who knows where they're at. I'm going to say that that's a win for your Miami Heat.
I'll go loss. I'll go loss. A massive amount of threes from the Clippers.
Spirit Leroy?
It's going to be a win after all that loss with the Jazz.
Bounce back.
Next up.
All right, for some reason, in a season where you're having 2-game series at once, you would think the next game would be against the Lakers. But nope, 2 nights later, they're at Golden State against the Warriors.
I'm going to go with a loss here. Reason being, I feel like Steph Curry, he's been reading the press clippings about Duncan Robinson maybe being the best shooter in all of basketball. I feel like Steph Curry is going to take that to heart. A team petty game for Steph Curry. So I feel like the Golden State Warriors will hand the Heat an L on that one on national television. What about you, Robbie?
I think by this point in the season, the Warriors are shutting down shop, hoping to get another top 5 pick, and it's a win for the Heat.
Wow, interesting. All right, Leroy? Spirit Leroy?
It's a win.
Oh, all right. All right, where do we go next, Robert?
Still on the West Coast road trip, although you could probably bust to this game.
This is the longest road trip known to man. Like, jeez.
The next night, second night of the back-to-back, down the street in Sacramento to take on the Kings.
I'm going to go win. Same deal. The Kings, those things of the Kings being the Heat's West Coast day, that's been shook. I'm not believing in it anymore. I say the Heat give themselves a W in Sacramento, and they continue on this road trip from hell.
You know where
Robbie?
You know where they're playing, right?
Where?
Tip-off from Golden Grams Center.
Nope, that's No, they're going to be too distracted by all the Golden Grams. Loss.
Spirit Leroy.
It's a win.
All right. Next up.
Now they're finally back to L.A. again 2 nights later to take on the Lakers Saturday night on ABC Finals rematch.
Ooh-wee. Listen, this is what we like to call a biggin, all right? LeBron James, he's out here saying it was the hardest finals ever. Now he's got to worry about the disease of me. Will Anthony Davis be as focused this year now that he's a champion? Will Kyle Kuzma even be on the Lakers? All these things that he's got to deal with. Meanwhile, you got the hungry Heat. They're already telling you they're thinking about this matchup. There is no shot in hell the Heat lose this game to the LA Lakers. Big win for your Miami Heat against LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and them boys.
Massive
Robbie?
win for the Heat. Full squad, no asterisk. Give me the win.
Spirit Leroy?
There's going to be no injuries this time. We are winning.
Yeah,
right.
no asterisk.
Taking
They're gonna
back that court.
kick their asterisk. That's what they're going to do. Next up, Robbie.
2 nights later, still on the road trip. This is the last one, getaway day in Oklahoma City, taking on the Thunder.
This is a ridiculous road trip. I got to be honest with you. It's exhausting. However, Oklahoma City probably going to be one of the worst teams in the league. You know, they're tanking up. They have no shame in this season. They're ready to they want to be all over that top board next year in the draft. I'm going to go with a win for the Miami Heat, a gimme to close out the trip. Even though it could be a danger trap game, I do acknowledge. I say they get out of there with a W.
Heat historically getaway day on the road trip has always been a disaster. Usually it's in Denver, Oklahoma City. I feel like it's going to be another loss. They're just going to be so exhausted, dying to go home.
Major letdown, too, right after the Lakers. You got to go take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Spirit Leroy?
Miami.
Yeah, all right. Now where do we go, Robbie?
All right, now the Heat are finally back home 2 nights later to take on the Tampa Raptors.
Okay, Tampa Raptors. Once again, I forgot that they are the Tampa Raptors. I just saw Toronto on my ESPN screen, so I got very confused. However, doesn't matter. They're in the Heat's house at that point. This Raptors team, their window's been closed. Not scared of them, and the Heat will just be happy. We know how great they play at the American Airlines Arena, and I say that's a W for your Miami Heat.
Big W, especially after the letdown of losing Oklahoma City the game before. Back home, everyone's rejuvenated. Win for the Heat.
Spirit Leroy?
Absolutely. After
All right.
that long road trip, no, we're going to win.
Real Leroy? All right, just checking in. Just checking in.
He's smiling? Is he smiling?
He is now.
Now.
He is now. What's up next, Robbie?
All right, we got 4 games left in the first half. Friday night at home, 2 nights later against the Utah Jazz.
Revenge game back at home. Donovan Mitchell, he's going to probably have some Heat thoughts while he's in that building as well. I'm going to go win for the Heat. What about you, Robbie?
Oh, yeah, massive win for the Heat.
Spirit Leroy?
Agreed.
Next game, Robbie.
All right, now they start a 2-game home series starting Sunday at 6 o'clock, February the 28th, against the Atlanta Hawks.
I can see the Hawks winning this game. If you have a lot of important games, there's got to be a letdown at some point. And I can see Trae Young. He's annoying. He likes to say games are over when they're not over. So I'm going to give the Hawks this game. They're a little improved, and they're fighting for a lot. He might overlook them there. Fat cat game. So I'm going to go loss there for the Heat.
Oh, I hope they put Star Wars Night on this game as well. That's what it was last year when in that game that Trae Young was referring to. They got off to a big lead, and the Heat came back and win. I think the same thing happens again. Heat win.
Spirit Leroy?
I'm going to say Hawks.
Ooh.
All right.
That's game one. Now, the second game, 2 days later, the 2nd of March, also against the Atlanta Hawks, also at home.
Yeah, let's not get crazy. I'm not giving the Hawks 2 games in a row. I mean, the Heat will kick their ass after getting their mind right. He'd always do well with that. You lose a game, they're right for the next game. Tyler Hero talked about this in the Players Tribune. Definitely a Heat win as we're coming to a close near this first half. Robbie?
Yeah, I think after the Heat beat the Hawks the first game, the Hawks are going to be so dejected and demoralized, they're not even going to show up for the second game. Heat win both games against the Hawks.
Spirit Leroy?
Solely playing alone. It's a win.
And finally,
the end of the first half, 2 nights later, the 4th of March at the New Orleans Pelicans, back on the road in the Smoothie King Center.
definitely a win for your Miami Heat. In fact, it's kind of annoying that the Hawks have way more national TV games than the Heat do. I think the Heat take that as a slight, and 2 of the Heat's national TV games happen to be against the Hawks. I find that very annoying. And against the Pelicans, excuse me, the Pelicans can go to hell. And so for that, I say Heat win.
Is there going to be an All-Star break after this? Or is there a break of any kind, or they're just going to roll?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are anymore, Robbie.
That being said, they lost to New Orleans last year on the road. That's a loss.
All right, and Spirit Leroy?
I'm closing this with the win.
Yeah, and real Leroy? All right. I have them at 29-8 currently in the season. Robbie, where do you have them at?
All right, I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 losses to start the first half.
All right.
And J Fig has an amazing. Yeah, J Fig has the same record as you, 29.
Love it. Spirit Leroy, real Leroy. I'm glad we agree. That's a win. That's a loss. What a tradition. I feel better. It does now. It feels like the basketball season can start. Now it feels like. Now we are hype. Now we hype.